Everything that you thought had meaning, every hope, dream, or moment of happiness, none of it matters as you lie bleeding out on the battlefield. None of it changes what a speeding rock does to a body. We all die. But does that mean our lives are meaningless? Does that mean that there was no point in our being born? Would you say that of our slain comrades? What about their lives? Were they meaningless? They were not! Their memory serves as an example to us all! The courageous fallen, the anguished fallen, their lives have meaning because we, the living, refuse to forget them! And as we ride to certain death, we trust our successors to do the same for us! Because my soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world! My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out!
Each of us lives, dependent and bound by our individual knowledge and our awareness. All that is what we call reality. However, both knowledge and awareness are equivocal. One's reality might be another's illusion. We all live inside our own fantasies. Don't you think that's true?
Lee! This is stupid. Why do you keep on doing it to yourself? Come on. You're never gonna win against Neji because he's a genius.
A genius, huh?
Don't let anything steer you off the path you've drawn for yourself. Forge ahead to the end. Stick to it, Lee. Make me proud. Be everything you can be.
Sometimes it seems like the whole thing is pointless. Like I am a loser and I will always be a loser. I do not know what to do.
You're right. All the effort is pointless. If you don't believe in yourself.
What does that mean, genius? So I was not born with a whole lot of natural talent, not gifted like Neji. But I work hard and I never give up. That is my gift. That is my ninja way.
It doesn't change.
That is not true and you know it. It is not true.
But then again, you have a gift that Neji doesn't have. Not as flashy, but perhaps even more important.
You do not have to make me feel better.
Is that you have the gift of perseverance, and that's what makes you a genius, too. True or not, you didn't listen to them. You never gave up.
Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility. Listen. Everywhere you look in this world, wherever there is light, there will always be shadows to be found as well. As long as there is a concept of victors, the vanquished will also exist. The selfish intent of wanting to preserve peace initiates wars, and hatred is born in order to protect love. There are nexuses, causal relationships that cannot be separated.
Not bad, you guys. I thought the second would go down fast, but you're full of surprises. All that power of love stuff seemed kinda silly, but I'm starting to respect what it can actually do. So I hate to say it. For me, there's a better path to power. It's not love. It's fury!
If I may, I'd like to pose an interesting question. Are all human beings truly equal? These days, everywhere you go, there's talk about the fight for equality. As a wise man once said, heaven does not create one person above or below another. People like to throw his words around. That's not the whole quote. He goes on to say that while we are all equal at birth, pretty soon things begin to change. Academic effort is what sets some people apart to rise above the others. At any rate, humans change over time based on their actions. Truth be told, at the end of the day, equality is just a fantasy, and most of us go through life denying the fact that we live in a meritocracy.
Now answer me this. What makes you bow your heads like that? Did you hear me? Why do you bow your heads?
You should be proud to be weak! We are the weak, just as we have always been. Don't you see? Nothing has changed at all. True, the stronger races may imitate our weapons, but they will never master them. Why, you ask? Because at the heart of our strength lies a fearful anxiety born of our most humiliating weaknesses. This fear has given us the insight to not only escape from magic, but to learn its secrets. It has given us the wisdom of experience, because we must predict the future to survive. I say it once more. Be proud to be weak. We are the noble weak who have, throughout history, torn out the throats of those fools who sit idly by and boast of their strength. We are as we once were, and as we will always be. Hear this, my people. You are part of a long legacy, the wisest of the races, one that could become anything, because we came into this world with nothing.
Do you think that was a bit harsh?
Of course. It had to be. I cut him down so he'll spring back up. The boy's enormously talented. There's no denying that. But he's a novice. He has not yet learned how to be worthy of that talent. He refuses to meet any challenge except on his own terms. He doesn't see the true value of competition. To a young person for whom everything comes easily, the pang of defeat can be a much-needed wake-up call. On the surface, the whole concept of exams may seem arbitrary, but deep down, it's not about grades. It's about rising to the occasion. It's about tasting the rapture and triumph and disgrace of failure. They go hand in hand, you see. One is meaningless without the other. To win, one has to lose. The difference between the novice and the master is that the master has failed more times than the novice has tried.
What caused me to despair is this world itself. This counterfeit world. Oh, look at me. There's nothing in my heart. I don't feel pain any longer. There's no need to feel guilty, Kakashi. This hole was opened up by this world of hell. I only had pain inside here before, but really, what's the meaning in that? So I abandoned it all. Meanwhile, you have suffered all this time at Reen's grave, and mine as well.
If you truly desire greatness, you must first know what makes you weak. And more importantly, live with an open heart.
Time and time again, we've put everything on the line for the sake of the guild. No matter how tough our enemies may be, we fight for what's most important to us. That's what makes us so strong. It's not that I'm not scared, but no matter how I feel, I can't let go of my responsibility. Plus, I know I can count on everybody else. What I'm most afraid of is losing what we all have together. So we can't run away from this. We have to fight for our family and for the bond we share. We gotta make a stand. And it's not just about winning. This time our fight is about living.
And all of a sudden, I remembered. I'd seen it all before. Many, many times since the day I was born. It'd been all around me, forever. But I always looked the other way. Yeah. The world is a cruel place. It's also beautiful. All of a sudden, my body wasn't shaking. I was in total control. Focused. Ready. All of a sudden, I could do anything.
We humans, we're all the same. Every last one of us. For some, it's drinking. For some, it's women. For some, even religion. Family, the king, dreams, children, power. All of us had to spend our lives drunk on something, else we'd have no cause to keep pushing on. Everyone was a slave to something.
It's a wonderful way to think. Why did people start farming? Because hunting without knowing if you'd catch anything was annoying and a waste of time. Why did people start digging wells? Because going all the way to the river was a big old pain in the butt. So you see, laziness is the mother of human progress. It inspires creativity. Consider, why should war be any different? If you can slack off during a war, then I say you're doing it right. So follow me, Ichthus Alorc, and you'll live the sweet life. Ichthus Alorc's men don't toil, they fight easy, and therefore they win easy. Long live laziness, long live sloth. This I can promise you. Everyone who follows me gets an easy life.
I will work hard and connect to the people of this village. Watching Naruto Uzumaki has brought me clarity. Until I met him, my ties to others brought only pain and sorrow. But he was always pushing me to redefine those ties. I think I finally understand the suffering and sadness of life, the joy. These are feelings that can be shared with those around me.
There are stories about every hero, how they became great. Most have one thing in common. Their bodies moved before they had a chance to think, almost on their own. And today, that's what happened to you. Young man, you too can become a hero.
And over and over and over and over and over again! Just give up and let me cut you down already!
Gohan, listen to me. You can't become a Super Saiyan just by increasing your power level. I've told you it doesn't work like that. The power comes in response to a need, not a desire. You have to create that need. Son, use the pain of loss.
Stand up! Stop staring at your feet! Take up your weapons! Look at that boy! He's so weak and fragile, a breath could blow him away, and he's unarmed! He's powerless. I have seen his defeat with my own eyes. He's weaker than anybody else on this battlefield. Yet he's shouting louder than anyone that we can still come out victorious! So how can we sit around hanging our faces in defeat? If our weakest man hasn't given up, how is it acceptable for the rest of us to kneel as if we've already lost?
How could I have forgotten? It's survival of the fittest in this world. This world filled with violence, deception, and betrayal. How could I? And now, the system expects me to murder my enemies. This isn't coincidence or charity. The system wants me to live. It wants me strong. And now, the system expects me to murder my enemies. Does it need to keep me alive for some reason? This isn't coincidence or charity. The system wants me to live. It wants me strong.
Gosh, you sure know how to take a hit, don't you?
A hit? The dude took a death blow. I think I get it now. If the system is bent on using me, I'm just gonna have to use the system.
Q on, you idiot. You shouldn't have held back.
Thanks for the reminder. The weak always lose no matter what. That's the way it is.
Somebody get this guy a medal. The weakest hunter of all mankind understands.
I do. Your crew must understand how it works too if you're saying that.
Hang on. What crap are you talking?
You hunt and hunt. So now I want to know if the hunters are ready to be preyed upon.
A pity. You're all seriously ill, it seems. Lock off. Anyone who wants to leave can go. Are your perspectives truly this limited? You'd rather be the top high schooler in this soccer backwater than the world's best striker? The future of Japan is in your hands? It's enough to make a man weep. What? Listen up. There's no denying Japanese soccer's first-rate teamwork. Call it the result of our country's characteristic thoughtfulness. But in all other aspects of the sport, we are second-rate. Let me ask you this. What is soccer? Is it about 11 players working together? The bonds that you form? Self-sacrifice? Fighting for your teammates? That kind of thinking is why this country's game has remained weak. I'll tell you the right answer. Soccer is about one thing. Scoring more goals than your opponent does. Whoever scores the most is the best. End of story. If you just want a fun game with your pals, then log off. It's not over. I'm not done. I will be the Wizard King.
The Wizard King? You're joking. The thing is, these chains can measure the magic power of anyone they come in contact with, and you have none. Not a single drop. You were probably born that way. I guess this explains why you didn't get a grimoire. You possess not the slightest bit of magic in a world where magic is everything?
No matter how hard I push myself, I'll never be able to use magic.
You should just give up. This world is no use for someone like you, a poor magicless fool. You might as well give it all up right now. You are born a loser, you worthless run.
Man, honestly, I'm actually shocked.
Oh, really? Here come the excuses.
Not at all, Baldy. I'm saying I'm actually shocked you would ever have thought you could beat me with this loser shit.
The perfect being, you said? Well, I have to tell you the honest truth as I see it. In this world, nothing perfect exists. It may be a cliché, after all, but it's the way things are. That's precisely why ordinary men pursue the concept of perfection. It's infatuation. But ultimately, I have to ask myself, what is the true meaning of being perfect? And the answer I came up with was nothing. Not one thing. The truth of the matter is, I despise perfection. If something is truly perfect, that's it. The bottom line becomes, there is no room for imagination. No space for intelligence, or ability, or improvement. Do you understand? To men of science like us, perfection is a dead end, a condition of hopelessness. Always strive to be better than anything that came before you, but not perfect. Scientists agonize over the attempt to achieve perfection. That's the kind of creatures we are. We take joy in trying to exceed our grasp, in trying to reach for something that, in the end, we have to admit, may in fact be unreachable. In other words, you may think that we operate on the same level, but you're wrong. The moment you started talking about perfection, you embraced an impossible concept, and it already lost to me. That is, of course, if you are indeed a scientist at all.
That kind of wanting is dangerous. It's not how reality works. Take a look. This is what I got for wanting something unrealistic.
I disagree. You want to bring back someone that you've lost. You might want money. Maybe you want women. Or you might want to protect the world. These are all common things people want. Things that their hearts desire. Greed may not be good, but it's not so bad either. You humans think greed is just for money and power, but everyone wants something they don't have.
Tell me, why did you refuse to join me? Why, God? How did I disappoint you?
You were incapable of believing in yourself. You stole your power from others. You rejected your human origins and chose to covet the power of what you call God. You never grew beyond your days in the flask. Did you truly think you'd become superior to humans by removing your 7 desires? Don't make me laugh.
What's wrong with that? I only wanted to obtain perfection. I wanted this world's knowledge for my own. Why should I be punished for that? What's wrong with craving knowledge?
What's wrong with seeking perfection? What are you, anyway? Do you even have a name? Who the hell do you think you are?
Who am I? One name you might have for me is the world. Or you might call me the universe. Or perhaps God. Or perhaps the truth. I am all, and I am one. So, of course, this also means that I am you. I'm the truth of your despair, the inescapable price of your boastfulness.
Humans who would dare to play God must pay a steep price for their arrogance. That is truth.
And now, I will bestow upon you the despair you deserve.
There are many types of monsters in this world. Monsters who will not show themselves and who cause trouble. Monsters who abduct children. Monsters who devour dreams. Monsters who suck blood. And monsters who always tell lies. Lying monsters are a real nuisance. They are much more cunning than other monsters.
They pose as humans, even though they have no understanding of the human heart. They eat, even though they've never experienced hunger. They study, even though they have no interest in academics. They seek friendship, even though they do not know how to love. If I were to encounter such a monster, I would likely be eaten by it. Because in truth, I am that monster.
Isn't working with the other sorcerers important? Of course. But no matter how many allies you have around you, when you die, you'll be alone. You can only piece together undervalued data on yourself and others. You can't imagine a stronger future version of yourself. Maybe that's because of your trump card. You believe that in the worst case, you can resolve everything at the cost of your life. And at that point, forget about beating me. You'll never even measure up to Nanami. Dying to win, and risking death to win, are completely different. Give it your best. Be greedier.
There's no sign that the evils of this world are disappearing. That hasn't changed since before I became a hero. So, I guess that means I haven't really made any difference. I'm not necessarily sad about that. But there has been something bothering me lately. As the days pass, my emotions grow more distant. Fear, tension, joy, anger, I feel none of them anymore. In exchange for power, maybe I've lost something that's essential for being human. Before, I'd have all kinds of emotions whirling inside me when I fought. Dread, panic, rage. But now, all I need is one punch to end it. Every day I come home uninjured and wash my gloves. When I'm out fighting monsters, I never feel as if my heart's really in it anymore. I mean, I just do the hero thing as a hobby. But as long as I get a kick out of it, in the end, that's all I really care about.
No one expects much. Not from me. They think a Class C hero won't be much help.
I know that better than anyone. I'm too weak for Class B. I'm not good enough. I know that much. I'm aware that I have no chance of beating you. No one needs to tell me anything like that!
What are you babbling on and on about? Begging for your life?
And yet, I must try. It's not about winning or losing. It's about me taking you on right here and right now.
996, 997, 998, 999!
It doesn't matter if it takes a year or 2 or 10 or 100! I don't care!
I will be the Wizard King.
It doesn't matter what I want,
because I can't do a damn thing about it.
You're a good person. I hope you'll get to live a long life. Every day I've spent here, I've wondered, how did all these people let it come to this? Minds and bodies ruined, dreams of freedom erased, personalities burned away. No one would want to go to war if they knew what it would do to them. But it's not like we all leapt into that hell knowingly. Most of us were pushed. Some of us were pushed by other people. And some of us were pushed by the environments we grew up in. So, the few who do choose to leap into hell see it differently than the rest. And they're also able to see something beyond the hell. Maybe that something is hope, or maybe it's just another hell. Fact is, you can only find out by moving forward.
My goal is to fulfill the dream even Jiraiya Sensei was unable to achieve. What I want is to create peace and bring about justice. We're both just ordinary men driven to seek vengeance in the name of justice. Everyone feels the same pain in losing something dear. You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine. And if one comes to call vengeance justice, such justice will only breed further vengeance and trigger a vicious cycle of hatred. Right now we live in such a cycle. I know the past and can foretell our future. It is the same as our history. The shinobi world of ours is ruled by hatred, and hatred alone. So we believe that human beings simply cannot understand each other, and they never will. So, Naruto, how would you confront this hatred in order to create peace?
How can there be such a huge power gap between us?
That's simple. You're an interloper, I say an imposter. And I'm the real thing. The Almighty
Kinda hard to believe this is me. I mean, look at you. Taller, more muscular. You look strong. But I guess it's only your appearance that's changed. Dig deeper and you're still weak. Hell, you're right at that store. E-rank hunter Chinu-san. That's all you'll ever be. A dreamer who never learned his place. So pathetic. All that talk about how ready you are and this is the best you could do? You'll have nothing to blame for your death but your own ego. This all feels so familiar.
I've always been the weakest, and I've been mocked for it at every turn. But I still try as hard as I can. I wanted to be stronger. I tried, but I never could. I get it. I fought tooth and nail to earn my keep, and I got this far. That gratitude was as empty as my wallet. Leave it to a genuine piece of trash to use me and throw me away for his benefit. I've got a family too. I wanted to make it home alive too. I'm glad my death means they can live.
It's gone. Our house. It's all gone. Why was I always such a brat? Why did I always fight her? I never said, I love you. I'll never get to. Never.
There's nothing you could have done for her, you'll understand.
Because I'm a kid. Because I'm weak. Because every last one of us is a damn coward.